Would you say that you're a confident negotiator? Would your boss say that you're a confident negotiator? Would your counterparts think of you as a confident negotiator? Well, I'll tell you what, in more than 15 years of doing this and having worked with more than 10,000 people in a small group setting, overwhelmingly, the majority of people tell us that they're not confident when they negotiate. So if that's you, welcome to the club, right? Most people feel that they're not naturally confident when they negotiate. And probably the main reason is because few people have access to a benchmark of what good negotiation looks like, right? If you don't have a framework, how do you know? But it's interesting, I've discovered over the years that there are really two things that you can do if you lack confidence. So if you ask anybody in the world, what would give them confidence? If they could speak in front of a crowd, could they do so at a moment's notice? What topic could they do it on confidently if you set them their challenge? And most people will tell you, as long as they can talk about something that they hold knowledge of, if they feel prepared, if they feel like, it's an area or it's a domain where they have some expertise and they have some experience, then they can confidently talk about it. So it's not rocket science, right, friend? If you want to have confidence in the way that you negotiate, well, I guess you're going to have to be prepared, right? You're going to have to get your head around the subject matter. You're going to have to, probably most importantly, understand things from your counterpart's perspective rather than your own perspective. And that's probably where most people, where their lack of confidence emanates from, is from their lack of knowledge, from their lack of understanding of what motivates their counterpart. If they knew more about what motivates their counterpart, it would engender more confidence in them in terms of being able to position and articulate the value proposition in such a way that it addresses and meets the needs of their counterparts, right? So number one, if you want to have more confidence, you better think about preparation, right? You want to bring consistency, you want to bring structure to the way that you prepare when you negotiate, right? You want to consistently apply best practice to your sales process, to your purchasing process, to your negotiation process, right? It's no good to just sometimes hit the right buttons. You want to always hit the right buttons, right? So, and the only way you can do that is to bring consistency to the way that you get ready for these negotiations. The second point, and this is an interesting one, the validation for this you'll see all around you, is that you can find confidence in your identity, right? So not to take this to a metaphysical level, but if you look at politicians, they've certainly demonstrated how you can be really confident in something that has no substance whatsoever, right? Because of their view of their own identity, because they think that they're capable, even if they have no domain knowledge, they have no understanding of what even, I mean, you look at some of these presidents and prime ministers, sometimes somebody asks them, what does a loaf of bread cost? Or what does a pint of milk cost? And they have no idea, but they manage to deal with that question in such a professional, unassuming way that it makes the interviewer look like the silly person, right? So they obviously find the confidence in their view of who they are, in their view of being worthy to be in front of their counterpart, because that's a big issue, right? It's a big issue. If you're going into a negotiation and you already think that you've lost, or you already think that your counterpart has more power than you, or that you're not worthy to be there, well, guess what? That's probably going to be the reality that you're going to face in that situation. So it bears examination, from your perspective to where do you get your identity. And I'm not talking about using this in a manipulative sense, but of course it's going to engender you. If you think that you're worthy, if you think that you're qualified, then it'll project itself in the exchange that you have with your counterpart. A couple of thoughts for you to get your head around. This is one of the key reasons why in our training methodology we spend much time on the structure for negotiation, on making sure that you couldn't possibly, if you follow our directions, turn up to a negotiation and not be prepared. You would be prepared for success. By the way, the research we've done on this subject shows us that 80% of people spend way too little time in preparing for their negotiations. As a matter of fact, the average is about 10 minutes for a 1 hour negotiation, right? So if you're preparing more than 10 minutes for a 1 hour meeting, you're already doing better than 80% of people out there, right? But the key point to understand is this, is that if you were to be prepared for every negotiation meeting that you turn up to, you will be in the 2%. There are not many people who are prepared for every negotiation that they turn up to. So you will be shortening your odds significantly by following a consistently a structured approach to getting ready for your negotiations to make sure that you don't miss opportunities. So go ahead and click on the link below, get started. Don't miss out on capitalizing on the opportunities to close deals because you lack the confidence anymore.